Pause.
Perfect. Okay. So good evening, everyone. So we are back again on another webinar. We are having Maya here. So today it's going to be a very interesting and very useful topic. So first of all, thank you, Maya, for again joining with us. It's a great pleasure in having you. And as we all know, Oneness Technologies is also providing e-learning courses in our website. And then you can check out for more and more e-learning courses like Python, web development services, and everything. So as a part of a CSR initiative, we are doing so much of webinars, and we are like, I think we have crossed 50 plus, and I hope all the webinars are very useful to you. And today we have Maya, and as I said before, we also had her before, but it was quite, it's not that technical topic. It was just topic that makes everyone to feel good. But this time it's going to be a very important topic, but because most of us have a vision, like have not a vision or mission, whatever, we all think like we have to go to abroad and have to study there, have to work some work. So everybody has a fantasy of going abroad, but going abroad is not an easy task, right? So though we are financially stuffed, we also have to pass an important exam, such as IELTS. So today we have Maya. She's a certified coach. So she'll be sharing some things about IELTS and show how we could get a clear idea. So what is it all about, and how do we have to appear, and how much examinations comes, and how we have to prepare. She's going to say everything about it. So I hope this 1 hour will be very useful. So just hold your breath, relax, and now Maya is on there. So over to you, Maya.
Good evening, Dharanya. How are you
Good
doing
evening.
there?
I'm good.
Okay. Good evening, each and everyone who's present over here online. Okay. Through OneS. Yeah. Today the topic for us is IELTS. So let me give you the full form of IELTS. It's International English
Maya,
Language.
I think your sound is quite low. Can you please increase your volume?
Okay. Okay. Just check if I'm audible now.
Yeah, it's
Am
audible.
I?
Perfect. Yeah, you're audible.
Uh,
You can go ahead.
Okay, good evening again to Dharanya and each and everyone who's present. We are watching us online, so live. Okay, today the topic for us is IELTS. It's International English Language Testing System. It's a mode, it's a system to test how good you are as an English user. And yes, who are eligible to take up this test and why? So let me answer that first so that I can brief you all about what is IELTS test is all about. Okay. This is an English assessment test that you have to take when you're applying for visa to go abroad to any English speaking countries to learn a more of language. Okay, it can be for US, Canada, New Zealand, UK, and Germany, and much more. Okay, and even Ireland. So there are many countries who make this as very important, essential one when you apply for visa. Okay, and let's get into a little bit of understanding the way I give for my students why you need to take this IELTS for visa. What is the purpose? Why you need? Yes, you are going to abroad on work basis for education, either these two. So it can be for temporary basis or you're going to settle there completely. Right. So you need to have a good communication in English as a language. It's just a communication language. How good you are as a usage, right? And there they're gonna scale you. So there's nothing called pass or fail. You need the highest score or lowest score. It's been ranged in a scale how good you are as a user. There's certain criterias how they scale into. So you don't have to worry. I got a very good, very good marks or very low marks. Nothing makes much difference, and it's going to vary depending on the country. Okay, who can take IELTS? Students who are applying for higher studies, For undergraduates, okay, let's say you want to do some courses, it can be for graduates, for postgraduates, for any medical. Okay, here let me take medical. So when it comes to the students, they're gonna take academic. So it's been divided. Let me say, let's take here IELTS. We have two. It's been divided into two parts. One is for academic, the other one is for general training. So when I started with students, so these student category will fall under academic. And here, remember, I have mentioned even doing medicine, paramedical field. That is only for doctors, nurses, and even who want to do their MBBS further in medical stream or to do surgery. Okay, and the other no other route, the other side is GT, that is general training. For whom is for general training? People who are looking to work in abroad. Okay, it can be for a permanent residential or for temporary basis that you're going for just short term, like 6 months, 1 year. We just want to work for a few years and return back. Still, you'll fall under general training. Okay, these are the two. And what is the difference between academic and general? The only difference is this as the first portion, and then let me tell you what are the other difference that you could follow. So I'm not going to use any paper pen for me to show in picture writing it down. Either I'm not going to use any PowerPoint or any presentation. Here is how good you are going to listen to me, concentrating and trying to picture in your mind. So there's something called visual picture. Let's see how far you're going to have that. So let's work on this. So this is going to be a part of my training when I'm going to take it up. So there's like nothing in front of you, but you're going to understand very clearly. Okay. So where did I stop? I stopped general training and academic. So who can take up this IELTS? Students or who are going for education purpose. The other one is for working purpose. Okay. And then I mentioned something about medical field. So whether you're going to work or study anything related to medical field, you're going to take academic. Someone will ask me a question: why not general training? I'm just going to work over there. Maybe I'm a nurse. I just need to work over there. Why not general training? So I give them an understanding. Medical field, it's never-ending story when it comes to education. I mean, even if you're working, you will find many, methods of treatment. You will come across many ailments, diseases, right? And many equipments that you need to learn how to, use those technical materials. So you're going to get updated every period. So when it comes to for nurses as well as doctors, the stream of education or knowing the knowledge of medical is never ending story. Until they're gonna serve in medical field, even they are working, they have to get updated. So let's say they are still learning throughout their medical field. First, okay. Second, the reason why I say still in academic is maybe you are into a kind of a field, it's completely related to human beings. You're going to get connected, or maybe any medicines that you're gonna make or do or learn is related to, again, connected to human or life. Let's take it into general life, any living things. It can be plants, animals, and humans, right? Medicine field. So what happens here, the way you're gonna explain to a opposite person or to a crowd, your language should be in such a way that the opposite person is understanding what you're trying to convey to them. So here you should be a good user in English in speaking. Got my point? Okay. And again, the opposite person, whoever is speaking, maybe he's come with some disease, some ailment, and he's like, say this water is paining over here, and you should have a kind of understanding which language he's speaking. He's a foreigner, maybe he's an American English, and he's very having different accent. So here you need to understand what they're speaking. So it's going to differ from person to person. All are not going to be the same. So your skill is to understand what he's trying to say and then follow your treatment or to give them a treatment. And again, here your listening skill should be related. what the next part, let's say someone they have written a case study, so your shift is over, you want to write down a case study and leave. Okay, so to read as well as to write a case study, you should be very good in English. So this is how a medical field should go. So either you can be a doctor or a nurse, or in any field, your writing as well as your reading should be skilled to understand in better way. So let's put medical, the whole stream, into a academic category and not in general training. Okay, clear? So yes, medical field some have a doubt they can take OIT or they can take IELTS. Yes, OIT is totally different. It's completely related to medical. Yes, even medical field, whoever they can be, they can still take IELTS and they can go abroad on work basis. Okay, so maybe when getting into any a link to understand, you can go further with that in knowing better. So now let's get back to general training and academic. What is below that? Okay, let me give you a brief about that what. So I've already finished. So why you need to take in what, let me give that in more detail for students as well as for working people. Okay, keep in mind there's something called why is still left in IELTS for me to say. So what is IELTS, let me say that. Ready to know what is that more? So most of them here would have already have a knowledge about IELTS, and some they don't have any knowledge about IELTS, and some could have like a bit confused and still not able to grasp. I read, gone through, so a little bit confused. Let me see how much clear or gonna be more confident what is IELTS is all about. So this is going to be for all in simple terms. What all is below general training as well as academic. So which way? Let me say this is academic over here. Okay, imagine that is towards my left and towards my right. My right. Okay, this side is general training. Okay, both the ways I'm gonna say you have 4 modules. All the 4 modules is going to be the same for academic general. What is modules now? So it's first, let's say, listening, reading, writing, speaking. I'll repeat. Let's say listening, reading, writing, speaking. Okay, let's put into steps. You could say this side is general and this is academic. That's how I said, right? Left, right. Okay, and I put 4 steps. I started from listening, and under listening, we have overall 40 questions. Under listening, we have overall 40 questions to be answered. And someone is there before, like, okay, 40 questions. What is the timing now? Let me know the timing before. So to get into the breaking of timings, let me put overall all the 4 modules together. It's, let me say how much is the time it's related to before getting into listening. Okay, listening, reading, writing. You need to attend this test on one day, on the same day. Speaking is conducted as on a separate day. It can be within 7 days before or after your listening, reading, and writing test. So it can be either pen and paper or computerized assessment. So both is going to be the same. Okay, there's going to be few variation. At the end, I will tell you what it could be. Okay, now let me say what it is. Overall, 2 hours 40 minutes is a test. 2 hours 40 minutes is the test. Keep in mind. So when I'm going to start with listening, reading, writing, you can write down in a pen and paper what I'm going to say, so that you will have the kind of flow chart kind of. You would have written down one below the other. Okay. So I started with IELTS. You have two. One is academic. The other one is general training. Okay. Now what is going to be one after the other? Listening. Listening. We have overall 40 questions. The time given for listening is 30 minutes, 30 minutes with additional 10 minutes of time. With additional 10 minutes of time. Okay, here. Listening is going to be the same for both academic as well as general training. Okay? Listening is the same listening that you're going to hear for academic as well as for general training. Totally, you're going to answer overall 40 questions with given 30 minutes of time with additional 10 minutes of time. What is this additional 10 minutes of time all about? It's for you to transfer the answer to the answer sheet. Very important for you to transfer the answer to your answer sheet. So, what's going to happen in listening? Under listening, you'll be having four parts. Overall, under listening, you have four parts. What are these four parts? You will be listening to an audio, you will be listening to an audio and answer the questions below. So each part carries 10 questions each. So now we got to know how we got the 40 questions. Each four parts, you have 10 questions each. Okay? And your difficulty level will be increasing from first part till the end of fourth part. Okay, what kind of audios that you can come across? You can come across anything in general. It can be academic as well as in social content. So you'll have two monologues and two conversation. It can be more than two speakers. Monologue is maybe one person giving a commentary, or can be any documentary, maybe explaining, maybe in a class section, professors giving a lecture. Okay, or maybe it's in a seminar, or someone is giving a lecture, and it can be in academic format, or maybe any procedure of any systematic running of a machine. So it can be anything, it's open. Okay, and conversation again, how it's going to be, let's say filling up a form. Okay, there's two-person over there and looking for information, and the other two conversation can be maybe you're calling for an appointment to a doctor. So how the conversation go? So it's mostly gonna related to asking information, maybe giving details. Okay, these are the type of conversation. The other one can be more kind of very strict, and vocabulary is going to be very much strong. So first two going to be a little bit simpler compared to your last. For others, it can be the vice versa. Let's say for students, it's going to be totally different. Maybe they got used to with lectures and everything. They say, "I'm okay. The last part even I could find it a bit better." Maybe that's how it make differs. So for general and academic, the listening is going to be the same. The reason because anybody can attempt. It's going to be general. Okay, before for me to proceed, Taranya, let me hear from you. Am I like being fast to you, or how I'm making you to understand? Is it a bit slow?
Yeah, it's normal. It's normal. It's not
Normal.
too fast to you. It's normal.
Okay. I don't want to sound in speed.
No, no, it's perfect.
Okay, okay, everything is fine. So can I go ahead?
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
Okay, everybody is worried. Why did I ask this in between? Okay, just to put a pinch over there in between. What the reason why? It's a myth being said, like speaking fast and speaking. I mean, in English, they are very good. Very good in English. They're very good speaker. How many believe that? But speaking in English, oh, they're very good. They're very confident. So let me say, it's not always right. Sometimes I feel I shouldn't be fast. The reason why is each and every word should be there in your mind. You should understand. So I always say, be slow and steady. Doesn't mean not completely snail slow, but let me be slow and steady for you to grasp what I'm speaking. So that way to say speaking very fast in English doesn't mean that you're very good in English. So now you got confidence. Ah, it's okay. I can be slow. I'm a good English user as well. Yeah, you are. Okay, let me go ahead. So I think still the map is there in your mind. IELTS, academic, general training. I started with listening. I said 40 questions you need to answer with 30 minutes of time with additional 10 minutes. Each, there are four parts. Each part carries 10 questions. Okay, so why is that additional 10 minutes? Let me answer that before I move into next module. Okay, this will be the last part to say in listening. So what's going to happen here? You'll be given a headset. Okay, So that is your first module that you're going to attempt for the test. You're going to wear your headset, be very careful and concentrate. So what happens as you listen to the audio, you need to find the answer. Okay, let's say fill down the answer. So you'll be given questions 1 to 10, the next 11 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40. The first section audio, it can be around 4 minutes to 5 minutes and not more than that. Okay, let's say that is time given to you. Okay, or maybe even 6 minutes of time will be given to you, and each part inside that first part, you will be divided into, let's say, 1 to 4 or maybe 5 to 10. There are two parts divided. Okay, there is break given, maybe few seconds given to you to go through the questions. As you listen, you can scribble on your question paper. You're not going to touch your answer sheet, you're not going to write anything on your answer sheet. Remember this. You can scribble, you can do whatever you want, you can write in any way, short form. But be very careful with the spellings, especially when you come across name, okay, and contact numbers. Be very careful writing down the numbers as well. Don't miss down writing very fast 6 and looks like a 0 when you're transferring to your answer sheet. These are the minute, silliest mistake you could come across. Okay, let's avoid unnecessary errors. How much is going to impact? I'll let you know that as well. Okay, as you listen to the audio, you need to write down in your question paper. Okay, be prepared. And at the end of your listening, that means at the end, after your first, second, third, and fourth, after all your four section, or I mean, let's say parts. Okay, earlier they used to call sections. In your audio, no more you can hear it as parts. Maybe if you're going to go through your old listening practices or old books, like IELTS book, any books, you can come across like sections. So now it's been changed. It's going to call it as parts. Okay, so my tongue is rolling to get back to the new word parts. Okay, under each part. So all these, once it's over, you're gonna transfer the answer to your answer sheet. So you can write down very neatly. It can be in cursive, it can be in Lucida handwriting, or it can be completely in block letters. But be very, very careful in transferring the answers. Very clear. No overwriting. Okay. Don't write it very light. The reason why it's going to be computerized, evaluated for listening. So there's no one sitting manually looking at your answer sheet. It's going to be scanned. So if your letters are very clear, then you'll get your score. Maybe your E looks like something, or let's say like C, doesn't look like E. So it's going to be misspelled. So someone said, I've really done well in listening. I don't know why I got a very low score. Maybe even your handwriting has mattered over there. It really meant over there. So you didn't follow a very neat handwriting. So be where each and everything is important. Okay, so this is what with listening. Okay, if you have more queries, you can now go ahead. I do remember I have missed, maybe I would have missed one or two, which I thought it's not gonna be now with the brief point, because I have to get into in depth. Let's have that in a next section completely for listening. So this is overall with listening. Okay, I said this, and computerized evaluation, keep in mind transferring the answers for the 10 minutes. So why I mentioned that. Okay, and whoever who's already have an aware of what is IELTS and listening, and you want to mention over there, you can leave it in the comments, so that Dharanya is going to help me out and gonna say, ma'am, would you like to say this? It can be important as well. Let me do that. So let's move into our reading. Okay, okay, Dharanya.
Yeah, we are done.
Okay, next is reading module. So after listening, as you're sitting in the hall, okay, in the hall, you would have got your question paper, you finished with your listening and everything. So 40 minutes is over. Okay, maybe you're sitting for the exam around, let's say, your exam is around 1 o'clock. So 1:40, your exam, your listening is over. It's not exam, let's say test. So let me not confuse you all with the exam. It's called test. Okay, your test 40 minutes is over. So 140, let's say, assume. So this is not the time, don't keep in mind. It's an assumption to keep even the time management prepared as I'm saying this. How important time is as well. After your 40 minutes of test is over, immediately you be instructed in the all by the instructor. Please move into your reading. So reading, what happens here? Okay, here is the difference between academic and general training. Yes, what is the difference? Okay, for academic, you'll be having three passages. Three passages. Okay, and here for general training, you'll be having four short passages, and the fifth one will be the lengthiest one. Okay, let's keep this in mind. And now, how many questions that you need to attempt? You'll be having 40 questions each for both academic as well as general training. Okay, so overall 40 questions. For how many minutes? For 60 minutes. That is 1 hour. Okay, clear? So let me go in detail a bit more. Later, if I have more time, what is that you will come across? Yes, did I mention this additional time given to you for general training? No. Someone is going forward? Oh, I mean, going back to check? No, I didn't mention anywhere. So the additional time is given only for listening. I'm repeating here over there so that in reading you will not get confused. So the additional time, the only lenience given for listening and not for reading. Remember, if you're writing down the answers as you're writing, or maybe you thought, okay, after the whole three passage, after all the five passages, let me write at the end. Remember, you'll get into trouble because there's no additional time given to you. Okay, you are supposed to find the answers and immediately write in your answer sheet. In your answer sheet, you will come across 1 to 20 in your first column, second column 21 to 40. That's how your listening and reading answer sheet would look like. Okay, 1 to 20, and it'll be the same, almost the similar. You're just going to write your name, your numbers, your ID number, everything will be given, your answers. And here is the same method to follow. Be very careful with your handwriting, your spellings, it matters. Okay, even a minor spelling mistake, your handwriting is not clear, the computer is not going to read. So now you got an idea. Listening and reading is computerized, evaluated. Okay, there's no manual evaluator sitting in front of your answer sheet. So be very careful, the computer is going to read. So write in such a way that is going to be very neat. Okay, let's go through together so that we're going to brush up. Listening for academic and general is going to be the same with 40 questions, 30 minutes of time with additional 10 minutes. You have 4 parts, 10 questions each. Here with reading, academic, it's 5 passages, 40 questions with 60 minutes of time. General training, you have 5 passages overall. So let's say it's 4 small passages. The last one is the lengthiest one comparatively. Okay, and you have 40 questions to answer with given 60 minutes of time. So the questions are going to be the same, in sense the number of questions are going to be the same for both academic and general. The time given to you, 60 minutes, is the same for both academic as well as for general. Clear? Okay, so what are the type of questions that you can come across? For general, let's say for listening, it's going to be all one word. Okay, you're going to answer everything in one word, or it can be 2 word and not more than 3 word. Okay, and it's going to be the same as well as for uh, reading. 1 word, 2 word, not more than 3 word. You'll be fill in the blanks. Okay, complete the passage, complete the statement, and it can be find the headlines. So headlines is going to be for reading and not for listening. So it's all going to be very simple to give like 1 mark, 1 score for each. So what happens for listening and reading? The total number of right answer is your band score. Let me repeat. The total number of right answer for listening and reading is your band score. So there is a scale given. So this is no total number of answer that you've been answered rightly, and that's how your band score you have got. Okay, let's say if you want to get 7 for listening for both academic and reading, you need to have overall 30 right answers. There is a scale, so here I'm not able to give the whole thing. So let's say band 7. Band 7 is a good band score comparatively, so that's a good requirement. So overall all the modules, 4 modules, you get band 7, good. Even 6.5 it's okay, but it depends on which country you're going to. Let's keep 7 as a score. Okay, so 30 right answers out of 40 for both academic and general. For reading, to get band 7 for academic, you need to get 30 right answers. For general training, to get band 7, you need to answer 34 right answers out of 40. So here is the difference. What are the two difference in general and academic when it comes to reading? The total number of passages first. Second is band score. The score value varies. Okay. So you have to be very careful in answering. The reason why is I'll let you know in the next session when I get into more in detail about reading. Okay. Clear? So we finish with listening, reading. What is the third module? Your third module is writing. Very important, writing. Okay. Writing. What happens with academic? Let's start with academic. Who all are looking for academic? Be very careful in listening to me. Yes. Writing, you have two tasks. Let me say two tasks for academic as well as for general training. Let me speak about task one. What is task one for academic? It's going to be reporting or summarizing about a graph. It can be a graph, picture, maps, table, charts. Okay, you need to write minimum 150 words. Remember, you need to write minimum 150 words with given 20 minutes of time. I repeat, for academic, task 1, you're supposed to write 150 words with given 20 minutes of time. So, what is for task 1 in general training? Task 1 for general training is writing a letter. Writing a letter. Okay, what kind of letters that you can come across? You will come across informal, semi-formal, and formal. So these are the three type of letters that you can come across. Here you need to write 150 words minimum. Okay, with given 20 minutes of time. Okay, so what's the difference here? It's only with the task. Task 1 for academic, it's going to be reporting on a graph, map, chart. Okay, the other one is letter writing. So this is the difference. For general trainers, it's going to be letter writing. Letter writing. Okay, hope you're going to keep this in mind. What is task 2? Task 2, you're going to write an essay. Task 2, you're going to write an essay for both academic as well as for general training. Okay, essay, you're supposed to write minimum 250 words with given 40 minutes of time. Okay, let me repeat. For both academic and general, you're supposed to write an essay out of 250 words with given 40 minutes of time. So overall for writing, what has been given? Task 1 and task 2. Task 1 is of 20 minutes of time. Task 2, 40 minutes of time. So overall, your writing is for 60 minutes. So let me go back. Listening, 30 plus 10, 40 minutes. Reading, 60 minutes. Writing, another 60 minutes. So what did I say? Overall, 2 hours, 40 minutes. Clear? And there is no break in between. in between any of your modules. It's going to be continuous. Listening, reading, and writing, it's going to be continuous. Writing, you're going to end your test for the first three. So this is how it's going to happen in your test hall. When you're sitting, instructions are given in between. Be very careful and no break in between. There's a question for many over there. Oh my god, I have to sit there for 2 hours, 40 minutes continuously? Yes, you should be trained for that as well. So when you're practicing for your IELTS, be prepared. Yes, you can learn with all the strategies, the methods. Be very careful with all your tasks. Once you feel confident, and your next practice is to sit continuously for at least 2.5 hours. So let's say 2 hours 40 minutes. Let me stick to the time every time. 2 hours 40 minutes. You have to sit. You're not going to move anywhere, not even to your restrooms. Okay, so I'm not supposed to go. No one is gonna stop you. You can go, but under your own risk. The time additional time will not be given to you. So the first 40 minutes, you're not supposed to get up anywhere. Forget about you not doing. Don't disturb others. No, that's what it means. So listening, please listen to the audio. Start answering, finish it, and maybe in your reading, try to keep in time, finish off your module, all the parts, all the passages. Once it is done, maybe you can seek permission. Can I go? Yes, you can go, but be very careful. Again, you have to enter your hall. You have to undergo another set of verification. You're all checkings, and then by the time you come to your place, you're gonna waste some time, minimum 10 minutes and more. So what happens? Out of your 60 minutes in reading or out of your 60 minutes in writing, okay, you're gonna miss your own time. Don't you think that it's very, very important? Even the last 5 minutes when the warning is given, 5 minutes left, wouldn't you write fast, scribble fast, answer? So it's very important. So in your practice sessions, maybe you having time for IELTS 1 month, 2 months till then. Drinking water, don't drink gala 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 gala, one big bottle. Okay, let's say just just take out your thirst. You can still stay. So don't be anxious, don't get nervous. Get used to the feel of like I'm still writing down. Be confident. Your practice should be more confident. Okay, let's get back to our IELTS below academic, general training, listening, reading, writing. The last portion I left. Speaking, I'm left. Am I right? Yes. What is speaking now? The reason why I took time to get back is this speaking can happen anytime within 7 days before or after your listening, reading, and writing. So it's on a separate day. You're asking me, ma'am, this exam is going to happen? Sorry, this test is going to happen on another day? Yes, it's going to happen on another day, not on the same day. Let's say, for instance, an example, okay, you're listening, reading, writing, you're going to attempt on Thursday. That is like today. So what could have happened? Your speaking could have happened from last week's Thursday till this Thursday. Anytime it could have got over. Your time would have been given. Or from today Thursday to next week Thursday. That is another next 7 days. So it can happen anytime between that. Either you can have it on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So that's what I meant. Anytime before or after your listening, reading, and writing. So it doesn't mean that it's going to prolong long days. It can be very nearby as well. So what happens in speaking? It's going to be totally different. You're not going to sit for 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's going to be very fast, very quick. And here is your skill. What is going to happen? Your time given for speaking is, keep marking over there. Okay, it's for 11 minutes to 14 minutes. 11 to 14 minutes. Okay, yeah. So when you're applying for the test, the time would have been given to you slots like, let's say, 11 to 11:20 is your time slot given to you. The next person, the next candidate can be 11:20 to 11:40. The next candidate 11:40 to 12. So for each candidate, the time given is just 20 minutes overall for you to walk slowly or walk fast, to enter the cabin, sit in front of the examiner, and for you to walk out. That is the time extra given to you additionally. Otherwise, your test timing is for 11 to 14 minutes, not beyond 14 minutes. Sometimes the many would have come across like some would have said, "Oh, so soon! I just finished my test in within 12 minutes, 15 minutes. It's I'm not even 15. Sorry, 14. It's done." Okay. So what happens here? Let me get into detail. Okay. And I did mention about the evaluation. What happened for listening and reading? I said total number of right answer is your band score, right? So you're going to mark somewhere in your paper that you're going to write down. Ma'am has to say this. If not, let me remind her. Ma'am has to finish this also in this session, right? So please remind me what is for writing, how is the evaluation is going to happen. I'm going to leave that free because I want to connect that with speaking. How the evaluation is going to go with writing as well as speaking. Okay, under speaking, you have four parts. Four parts? No, three parts. Yeah, some are getting very like in a little bit front, who have already been aware of IELTS. Is three parts, right? Am I right? Yes, you're right. It's three parts. Okay, what is with three parts? First part is an introduction round. Okay, you would have been asked minimum of 5 to 8 questions within 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, minimum of 4 to 5 minutes. How many questions? 5 to 8 questions. Introduction round, it's all about yourself, your likes, your dislikes, your family members, your hometown, okay, and your education, your work. It can be anything. The questions can be simplest to the form, starting from what is your name, where you come from, and to go on in between, what is your favorite color, do you like singing, how many members are there in your house, how many rooms are there in your house, do you like cooking, can you name some spices. So these are kind of questions that you can come across in your introduction round. So here you're not going to answer lengthy. So maybe they are talking about cooking, and you're not going to talk about any recipes. You're not going to tell them how to prepare biryani there. You can just say, yeah, I know cooking. I'm very good in preparing biryani. The end. No more. So it doesn't mean that you're gonna answer just one word. Do you know cooking? Yes. Do you know to swim? No. So do you think it's the right answer? No. Yes, it can be the right answer for you, but when it comes to IELTS, you are supposed to answer in one whole sentence. So it's gonna be like this. Let's say the simplest form. What is your name? My name is Maya. That's it. And wait, maybe my name is going to be the full name. My name is Maya Maheshwari Venugopal. And you're not going to front, poking your nose again. And you can call me Maya. No. Wait for the next question from the examiner. How may I call you? How do people address you? How you've been known by your friends? Then you can answer. See, the question can be all these three types, but the answer is going to be the one. Yeah, you can call me Maya. So that's how generous and humble you're going to be. Don't be rude. Okay. Don't have a kind of over attitude. You can have a little bit. So it's going to be like not very formal, at the same time not too informal like your friends, but have a very good speak. The reason why, so that you can have a very good flow, your fluency is going to fall, and you're not going to stammer or have shivering. Oh wait, no, you can have a normal pace. Okay, this is how your answer is going to be in your first round. No lengthy answers, no one word answers, no yeah, nope, no such answers as well. So it's not accepted. They're not going to oppose you, they're not going to warn you, but they will just sit. They're not going to nod at you. Sometimes they might not smile at you. It's okay, shouldn't affect your speech. Just go ahead. Okay. And next, what is with your second part? Second part, it's a cue card round, or let's say topic round. Okay. What happens here? You've been given a topic followed by a set of questions. It can be minimum of 3 to 4 or 5 questions. Let's say 3 4 questions. Okay, ma'am, topic, questions. Is it going to be too many? How? I'm not supposed to write anything. Yeah, you're not supposed to write anything. But yeah, not lengthy. Let me tell you how it goes. So the time given for you for cue card is, let's say, 3 minutes. Exactly 3 minutes? Yes, exactly 3 minutes. Okay, how it goes? They're going to present you a card with the topic. You've been given 1 minute of time for preparation. Exactly 1 minute of time. As soon as they give maybe a set of question paper like this, then given in front of you, and they'll instruct you. You've been given 1 minute of time for you to prepare. You can write down bullet points, kind of. You can write down, but it's not mandatory. Okay, keep in mind it's not mandatory. You can write down some points, and those points, whatever you're going to write, is not for evaluation purpose. It's for you to be prepared to put down points. Okay, once the 1 minute is over, they will ask you to stop and start. Your 1 minute is over. Now you can start. So now you're supposed to speak on the topic for 2 minutes. Exactly 2 minutes. And remember, all the bullet questions that is being asked should have been answered. That is your skill now. How can I prepare 1 minute on a topic? By the time I read the question, the time would have been over. So yes, you should be skilled. You need to be trained in that as well. Okay, this is a challenge. So what are the type of questions? Let me give you one example for you to understand so that you don't go out blank with the cue card. Let's say the topic. Um, the last birthday party that you celebrated. Let's say this is the topic. The last birthday party that you celebrated. Or maybe let's say it will start. Who and all were present there? When did you celebrate? How did you celebrate? And what makes this birthday party a special one? So 4 questions: who, when, where. So these are the kind of questions like you're going to talk about: who all were there, about the people, number of people. Okay. And next, when, it's about the time or when it happened. Okay. Next, where, the place and everything. The special thing, maybe some incident, some point you have to pick up. So as you're preparing, you should be very careful with that 1 minute. And now it's a 2 minutes. You're starting. How you going to start your speech? It's very important. And be very careful. Within 2 minutes, you're supposed to answer all, and you should have a very good speech. You should be a very good entertainer in answering all. It should be like a speech, not like answering directly to the question. Remember, maybe my last birthday party was celebrated last year before the corona, and it was with my family members, and it was in Bangalore, and it was a good one because I celebrated with all my family members. Do you think it's accepted? Can be, but remember your score would not be that much effective as you expected. So you need to be a little bit creative more, speak on more. Your the way you're gonna start, the way you're gonna end. Remember, the questions that you're gonna answer is not necessary to be in the same order. It can be anyhow. You can choose anyhow you want. So the first few questions, except the last question, it can be a specific one, but try to connect that creatively. The last question is an explanation kind of, because you need to explain how what makes you special, right? So you need to be expressive. Say more. So keep that question at the end until the examiner says stop. You need to keep speaking. You're not supposed to stop within 2 minutes. It's going to affect your score. You need to speak completely for 2 minutes and wait until the examiner says stop. Okay. Yeah. So this is with your cue card. And the last part, the last round is your discussion round. Let's say general discussion round. So here they're gonna ask you a set of questions related to your cue card. Cue card topic. Yeah, quite relative. So how it's going to be? Let's say you had been given a topic on birthday party, right? So cue card topic question. Let's say for example, this is how it's going to be. Hmm, in your country, what makes unique in celebrating birthdays? So you could say in our country we would wake up in the morning, go to temples, prepare pies and that. No, it's gonna differ very much. This is what a traditional kind of birthday parties that you can come across. So this is what makes difference. So it's in general. Remember, the examiner didn't speak about you, specifying. It's general. Sometimes they could point out you, but here, what makes difference from your first round to your last round? First round is all about you, and your answers are just one or two sentences and not beyond. Your last round, it's all about your experience, your experience celebrating birthdays, your experience celebrating
Okay. So I think she has faced some network issues. She'll be back soon. So I just posted a feedback link right now. Just check. Yeah. So I've just posted a feedback link. And if you have any questions, you can always post it in the comment section. So we can just go forward. Okay. So you can just ping whatever the questions you have regarding what she explained, like speaking, listening, or reading, or writing. Whatever the questions that has popped up in your mind, you can just put it in the comments, and also do fill the feedback form so that we could get more and more of feedbacks from you, so that we could get improvising all our things, all our webinars. So yeah, she's back. Okay.
yeah, network issues. Please bear with me.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm back now. So I'm almost in the end portion. I was a little bit stressed. Oh my god, I didn't go incomplete. Okay, I have some few minutes. Okay, let me brush up. So with speaking, I said there are three rounds. First one I said is introduction, cue card, and discussion round. So discussion round, the time given for you is 4 to 5 minutes. The overall questions that can be asked is minimum 5 to 8 questions. It can be even more lesser as well. So depending on the time that has been left out, compared to your first round questions, your second round is going to get affected. Okay. So this is how, and I want to talk about your evaluation for writing and speaking. For writing and speaking, it's going to be manually evaluated. Okay. For writing, you have your script, that is your writing script. That's a proof. Okay, how good is your English to go through to evaluate. What about speaking? Speaking, from the time you enter the cabin and you're going out, everything is going to be recorded. Okay, there are going to be two examiners here for both writing and speaking. Okay, writing is an invisible examiner. You won't know who's going to evaluate, but there's going to be two examiners. For speaking as well, there are two examiners. One examiner who's sitting in front of you and evaluating your speech. The second examiner is going to listen to the recorded audio. I have said you right just now. Okay, it's going to be completely recorded from the time you're going to say, may I come in or welcome, maybe good afternoon, good morning, good evening. From your greetings till the end of your sessions are over, till that end, everything is going to be recorded. Okay, and that record is being used for evaluation purpose for the second examiner. Okay, and what are the purpose that this audio can be used for is, for example, let's say you're not happy with your band score, and maybe you say that I got very less, I'm supposed to get more, I have a doubt with the evaluation, you could go for re-evaluation with few chances more. Okay, and apply, and that audio can be used for your evaluation, for re-evaluation as well. So the two examiners, one examiner sitting in front of you and giving you the score, second examiner is going to listen to the audio and give you the band score. Okay, both these scores together combined is your speaking score. And even for writing, both the examiners score together, maybe they're going to divide their work. Okay, this portion I'm going to look into, so it's their part, let's not get into that, let us do the duty of doing our best in our test. And what is the evaluation criteria? I know you'll be waiting to know that. For listening and reading is computerized with total number of right answers. For writing and speaking, you have four criteria. One is task achievement. One is task achievement. Have you, let's say for writing, written down according to the task that is being asked? Let's say with the timing, the word limit, everything falls that part. Or answering or writing the essay according to the topic, or you're out of the topic. When it comes to speaking, have you spoken or answered as being asked by the question, according to the question, or you're out of the topic? Even though your English was very good, your sentence formation, your vocabulary, everything is good, but your answers were not connected to the questions, it's out of the question. If they asked, do you know how to cook? And you just started answering like, let's say when I was a young, I used to play with my friends. It's called cookery game. It's not connected. They asked you, do you know how to cook? And you started saying cookery games I used to play with my kids, and how it's going to be. Even though it's cookery point, you were English, you said something about it. But your task is not achieved. Your score is low over there. Understood how task achievement is being valued? This also be very careful. Listening to the questions and answering. At the same time, reading the question topic and writing it accordingly. Second is let's say grammatical range and accuracy, how good your grammar is, and how the ranges of grammar, how do you use, there are different ranges. Let's not just stick with the past, present and future, the tenses, that's what I meant. Articles, you should know when and where and how to use them. Okay, next is vocabulary. Vocabulary ranges, let's say not just using good words, but knowing how and when to use it. So vocabulary is going to really shoot your score as well accordingly. That means knowing your synonyms and antonyms. That means a word synonym means a word that has maybe a different word, similar word with similar meanings. Maybe if you have a mobile in hand, let's say go for a word fantastic. Okay, under fantastic, you will find more synonyms. The simplest form is good, and you will find similar words as well, excellent and all. And those words again can be differed when and where to be used. I'll explain how it's going to make a huge difference. Let's say, how was your journey last week? How was your journey to Paris? Or let's say, how was your journey to? You've been for a trekking. How was your journey? So you would say, like, it was good. I had a good journey. I had a good vacation. It's the word good is a positive word. Okay, it's a normal. You could get a simple kind of a band score. To get something more than that, a better score, what you're supposed to be using is a synonym. For a journey, you could say, I had an adventurous journey. Adventurous, something good word, but it's for you, have you had a very nice entertainment, adventurous, something more exciting, right? Let's say I'm going to prepare really a biryani for you and ask you, how was the biryani? You could answer me, ma'am, the biryani was good. Good again is a good word. Got the difference? You can use good at both the places. Now can I use adventurous biryani? Doesn't suit, even though it's a positive word. Let me say, it was delicious, yummy, very spicy, tasty. Got the difference now with the no synonym, the different words that I'm supposed to be using for this particular sentence. That is, how was the food? How was the biryani? I am expressing how good it could be. Okay, the range, how good. Also, the shooting of the the score. Got the difference? I can't use adventurous. So using the right word at the right place will affect. If you're not using it at the right place, your band score can. Since if you have stayed with good, it could have been better. Then getting into the worst, telling a not a right word at the right. It's not a bad word. Maybe not the right word. That's the difference. So be very careful. Be aware of if you're learning new words when you're getting into the Google. Okay, apart from that, you could see that there's a mic kind of, or maybe this speaker kind of, listen to the pronunciation, and you can find there are meanings when and where to be used, and the same word how it has been expressed as a verb, as a noun, or as an adverb. Understand that, read the meaning, understand, and also read the sentence as well. Don't leave out the sentence, because the situation where you can be used also you could have learned it there. So vocabulary ranges matters when it comes to essays as well as for your speaking. It'll affect a lot. Okay, so you're gonna practice this as well. And next is with your, let's say for writing, apart from ranges and everything, let's say lexical resource. That is what with vocabulary. Task achievement, grammatical range and accuracy. Vocabulary is nothing but lexical resource. That is what they term it as completely. Lexical resource. The last portion is very important. It's with the, for speaking, it's going to be with pronunciation, your modulation, okay, your fluency, all affects over there. Okay, so these are the different ranges that you have to be very careful in getting the good score. So criteria has been the similar, but slight variation when it comes to speaking as well as for writing down. So they're going to check with your number of words that you have written. So going beyond the limit. With 150, you can go up to 200, but not beyond. Let's say like 175 is more sufficient. The reason why is if you can use more words. You can sit and write and write and write. But you're not going to get more score because there is no much time for your next test. That means the next task that is going to affect, right? So be with the time limit, with the word limit, so that you have sufficient time for your next task. So this is how your evaluation goes, and when we get into in detail about writing and speaking, we'll get to know more. Okay, so this is what with our IELTS, and I hope I covered as much as possible with the scores. And yes, how do they get into the band score? It's a similar one. They have 25% for each criteria. Let's say task achievement 25%, grammatical range 25. So all getting down together, 4 divided by 100. So that's a calculation goes to get down to the band score. So if you're getting a point, they have their own scale. So just for your awareness, how do they score? I had to explain this. So there's more in detail and depth, which is not that much for you to break your head. Be a very good user in English, and let me give you 2 3 hints how you can be a good user. I always say, listen to some English news channel. Don't stick with only with our Indian news channels. Get yourself introduced to different news channels. I could go with apps, and there are many websites I could have said. But let's say adapt this in your day-to-day life. Don't just follow with your IELTS test, but make it as part of your life. So now I'm gonna say why IELTS? Because you're going to a foreign country, okay, and there maybe you lost your wallet, or you lost your laptop, or you lost your route, right? You want to ask someone, you need to seek help, whom would you go to? So your English should be in such a better, a good user, so that whatever you speak, the listener should understand, right? So not just for scoring purpose, even for you to survive independently in a foreign country, be very strong. So that's how your speaking should be. And maybe the security guard, maybe there's a police who's helping you out. Maybe there's an admin department on working on this. They're trying to help you. They're saying, ma'am, follow the rules, write down a mail, go through this formalities, and you're not able to understand. Write down a mail. I don't know how to do a mail, and that's how your letter writing goes. If it's academic, they would have got to know how to write down a letter, but still for academic purpose they kept it. Maybe when they're getting into school and colleges, Okay, maybe higher studies, they have on reports. You need to report on your documentary, maybe your presentation, so your graphs and everything that can help them. When it comes to letter writing, for a common people to get into their task, giving a means, this is how this is going to help, right? So your IELTS doesn't end with only your test. It's going to continue when you're going to survive in a foreign country. Right. So this is how your listening and reading also get connected. Maybe listening to him, try to understand him. You're not gonna keep us. Can you repeat? Pardon me. Can you explain me in simple words? I didn't understand. So all these you will get into confusion. So let's say your listening skills should be so much good enough to understand for your work as well as for your education purpose. Maybe you lost something, you're there saying, and you understood how is the method, so that you don't look for your help. Reading, maybe there's a pamphlet given to you, ma'am, read this, and maybe you'll understand how to go forward. You're reading, still you're not able to understand. So, reading, practice with reading. So, any of the module, let's say listening, reading, writing, not just for IELTS, but for your further future to be more strong, bold enough, independent to face yourself. Right? So if you're not confident in your test, then how confident you're gonna be, being independent, surviving there. So you should know the language, right? To at least to survive. So let's be as a good user. Now, apart from for visas, how else IELTS can be used for? This is what I wanted to mention as the most important one. And please always check into this. IELTS, it's all about English usage. There's no pass or low score. Getting practice or learning from anybody, from a trainer, you're getting the feedback where to correct yourself, how to change, or how to improve yourself. At the same time, this is going to help for even staying in your own place, in your own country, to improve your academic for your presentation. Maybe after your graduation, getting into interviews, you're going to feel confidence in English, right? Completely. And then maybe you are still in work, at work, and it's a competitive world over there. You've been competing with your other friends over there, to boost yourself, to be more confident in explaining what's happening. This is going to really help you all out. And again, even for the mothers at this lockdown, to be more accurate in their English, maybe this can help them out. How? So read a lot, listen to something, and communicate in English. Let it be its simplest form. It's okay. Still keep speaking. It's okay. Keep communicating. Even it's going to be, had your lunch? I had my lunch. Just don't nod your head. Yes, yes. No, no. Say it in sentence. In that way, you will get into trying to be more creative in knowing new words. Okay. So this is with it, and let me have a question round session for a few minutes. I think I could do it if there's still time, or you want to carry it for the next. Is there any questions for me to answer now, Dharanya?
As of now, I think we had only one question. So
Okay.
just hold on. So the question is, I'm pursuing PGDM. So can I apply for IELTS? It's from Swapnil.
Pursuing PGDBM, I mean, he or she wants to continue their studies in abroad. Yes, they
Yeah.
have to apply. See, applying for visa, anybody have to undergo IELTS. Here the difference is, if you're going for work purpose, then you're gonna go as an academic. Okay, you need to write the IELTS under academic. If you're going for work purpose, then it is general training. Or let's say PGDM course, you wanna do this course at the same time you want to work. Let's say you have both the things. You're gonna work at the same time you're gonna continue your studies. Still, you're going to take academic. Okay, maybe you're going for work purpose and suddenly you thought, okay, I wanna do some studies, I wanna do some course. You have to take an academic IELTS there and then start it. So it's only safe to take academic and go for PGDM. Yeah, that's it. So Tarun, any questions for you personally that you're having now?
Yeah, I had one question. In reading, writing, as you have said, like criteria wise. So how? I mean, what is the like after 1 year we'll be having the exam, or what is the duration of the exam? Like after 1 year or 1 month, or what is that? I don't.
Very,
That's the question I have.
very good. Most important one, which I missed out, I guess. Yes, you can attempt IELTS n number of times, and it's valid
Okay.
for 2 years.
Okay.
Yes. I've applied for my test. This is the end of July. Maybe in the month of August, first week or second week, I got my date. Within 2 weeks, my results.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If it is pen and paper, it's 2 weeks. If it is computerized, within 4 to 5 days, you'll get the results. Okay.
Okay.
From that day onwards, from the day I got my results, until the next 2 years. Okay,
Okay.
that is 2021, 2022 August, and my IELTS is valid. Even though if I am in abroad, okay, on work basis, maybe I left India after a year, I got my IELTS result. So that means my IELTS is valid for 1 year. And I moved to
Okay.
abroad. So my 1 year is over in abroad, and I have another year to spend on work, maybe another 2 years. You are supposed to apply for IELTS again over there.
Okay.
Okay. Apart from PR, if you apply for PR, then no. If not, you have to write on your IELTS again. Got it?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Got it.
for asking the question, Dania. Very important. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay.
Okay, you applying for IELTS, you can go through online. You can either apply
Mhm.
through IDP or through British Council. There is no difference between both. There's nothing called this is the best, this is the easiest one, this is the toughest one. Nothing as such. IDP and British Council is all the same. I didn't take out the names in the earlier itself because that will be the first thing in the mind. Oh, this is the easiest one. There's nothing. Both
Yes.
are aligned with Cambridge University. You'll find your materials, practice on Cambridge University. All the three together have formed this IELTS. You can come across sometimes examiners working for both IELTS as well as British Council. So all are the same, and you can just log into any website, okay, for IELTS test with the IDP or British Council. Both are the same. You have to just choose your city where you're going to apply,
Mm-hmm.
and you can choose
Mm-hmm.
your date, okay, which date you want. Speaking test will be given by the center itself.
Same. Okay.
You can choose your timings. Date will be given, you have to choose your timings.
So
Okay,
I
hope
think
I
that
did.
is one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So we got comments like it's very crisp and clear. So it's very informative. So I think that is what thing is. So okay,
Uh,
fine.
I
Yeah.
seriously had a question because we will take a long time. This is without board and anything. I just want to give completely in front of them so that they just listen and no, not get
Yeah.
confused and have the picture in front of them how it goes. They can always get back to us to get into more in details
Yeah.
or to take up this IELTS as a training. Okay, we would give you the full brief how it goes. And let's see further how much more I could help you out.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Thank you,
yeah.
Daranya, and
Yeah.
have a
Thank
great
you.
week over there.
Yeah,
And
sure. Thank you so much for your elaborate session, but it was like picturing. Okay, from here, left, right, and then slots, and then it's like a flow chart, all like sorted out. So thank you so much for patiently. I know we have certain technical issues. It's never the mind, but the content is clearly reached to all the participants. So thank you so much for that. And
yes,
participants, you can always have contact with us so that for all your IELTS exams, you can just contact us and you can also contact Maya as well. So
sure.
first of all, those who are at, yeah, proceed.
Yeah, and I have to not forget to thank my friend who first gave me this opportunity years ago. So I have to always have to show my gratitude for my very close friend named Preeti. Okay, she is the owner, or let's say she's the trainer, very good trainer in a own institute called Target 7 Plus in Bangalore.
Okay.
That's in
Mhm.
Makigere. So she's the one who first introduced or taught me how to go as a trainer and guided me and how to be certified trainer. And still, we would take up online classes. So, and next, I would always thank Yogis Kumar of Oneness who gave given me this opportunity to spread this to all common people, to each and everyone, to get an standardized kind of understanding what is IELTS. It's not like
Yeah.
so something big. Only it can be
Mhm.
reached
Yeah.
who can go for it. No, it's for everybody, for each and everyone. Even though you're not willing, no, not in the state of going abroad, get trained now, get practice now. If you need more practice, be more confident when you take up your test. And for any college goers, for any final year students, any employees taking up this IELTS will be very good to improve their English as well. Okay, thank you so much, Daranya, and thank you
Yeah.
again for
Thank you
each and
so much,
everyone.
Maya. Yeah.
Yeah,
So all the best for all those people who are going to take your IELTS test. So from Vanas Technologies and from Maya, I hope my our hearty wishes to everybody. So do well. Keep all the tricks in your mind. So time management is very, very, very important.
I haven't
So
said
make
tricks.
sure.
I haven't said tricks yet. There's nothing but tricks
Yes,
in
you
me.
have said tricks with time management. So I think that is very important. That is what I meant as tricks. So I
Yeah,
think we could take that as tricks. So in order to make our scores better.
yeah, sweetheart. Let me correct this. Being a good trainer here,
Yeah, sure.
using tricks is like something like black magic tricks to do something to
Okay.
manipulate. So let's tricks is not going to be the right word. Let's say hints. HINTS hints.
Yeah.
TIPS tips or strategies.
Strategies.
How to
Perfect word.
so, so tricks will not work here. We can use tricks in some other place. Okay?
Perfect.
I did my
Definitely.
best.
Even I'm learning from you people, though conducting so many of webinars, I'm learning so much. So best strategies, as you have mentioned, I'm also repeating the same. Sorry for the mistake.
This is
So
what IELTS training can do for any common man.
correct,
Common,
correct,
common. Yeah.
perfect.
Okay.
So thank you so much, Maya, for correcting me also, and thank you, you too. And thank you so much, participants, for your patience. So we'll be having another webinar on 1st of August. I think the July webinar has been the end. This is the end of July month, and we're ending with this wonderful webinar. So we'll meet you on August 1. So just stay tuned with us with all the updates. You can also follow our social media pages for your updates, for more and more updates. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Maya. Thank you all for your patience. Thank you so much.